and flogged in public rather than being jailed. She argues youthful exuberance is to blame for the act.
I believe that practical punishment will solve the problems that we meet, especially with the juvenile laws. Because in schools, when we were in schools, we were treated that way. It actually deterred us from doing things that will call for public humiliation. Yes, once you are beaten, everybody knows that you've done the worst in the society.
Now, the Accra Central District Court, presided over by Justice Wolanyo Kotoku, has discharged 8 accused persons standing trial for the murder of Major Maxwell Mahama at Denchiri Obuasi on the 9th of May 2017. The 8 have been discharged are demanding compensation for being wrongfully accused. 14 accused persons of the 22 are therefore to face the committal proceedings.
According to the lawyer for the 8 who were discharged by the court on Tuesday due to lack of evidence to prosecute them, his clients have gone through intolerable trauma and anguish since their arrest in May 2017, hence their demand. The lawyer, Bernard Shaw, also accused the prosecution of doing a sloppy job by responding to public sentiment after reports of the lynching of the late military officer. The 8 persons, who were among 14 persons facing trial on charges of murder, were released upon the request of the Attorney General due to lack of evidence against them. The deceased, Major Maxwell Mahama, was reported to have been on his daily jogging routine on Monday, May 29, 2017, when some angry youth of the town of Denchiri Obuasi attacked him, allegedly on suspicion of being an armed robber. The police subsequently arrested over 50 suspects, with 36 of the suspects being discharged since the trial commenced at the district court. Presiding Judge Wolanyo Kotoku granted the request, leaving 14 suspects before the court. Last July, 13 suspects were also discharged from an initial batch of 32 suspects who were before the courts.
President Akufo-Addo has commended the press, particularly, the work that they are doing. And now we get to find out exactly what he was saying.
We all know that the human material that is our most important asset is extraordinarily developed. The endless chains of Ghanaians who distinguish themselves in virtually all areas of social and national life. You have the list, I have the list. And it tells you that these people, there's something there, there's something unusual. And it is important that we who are exercising political leadership on behalf of the people of our country recognize that and try and find a way to inspire higher and higher achievement. It's difficult for you to contemplate, but there was a time when we were just 6 million people. I remember that as a young person. That was the number of people we were in 1957 when we got independence. I mean, the whole black African nation was inspired by the work of 6 million people. Small group. Accra was a city of 250,000. But out of here came this big propulsion that brought about the liberation of our continent. So there is, it's my strong belief, there's something extraordinary about the people of it. And it is not an accident that today we are once again the pace setters, the harbingers of democratic accountability on our continent. The foreign guests who have been streaming here, that's the question they keep asking. How is it that you are different from the others in Africa? Why is Ghana stable and all the others? There seems to be problems. Is there something? Is it in the fufu or whatever it is? But they keep asking these questions. And it's because we have been able to agree that it is better for us to live in an open democratic atmosphere, have a transparent system of changing government by the ballot box, and accepting the results of the ballot box, even accepting the decisions of Supreme Courts when they go against you.
There was a near brawl between Deputy Trades Minister Carlos Ahenkora and Minority Spokesperson on Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa on Tuesday in Parliament. Now, Okudzeto-Ablakwa is accusing the Trades Ministry of extorting as much as $100,000 from expatriates during the Ghana Expatriate Business Awards in Accra. The payout was so they could sit next to the president.
The minority has asked for monies taken from the expats to be returned, failure of which the Trades Minister will be hauled to the House over the matter. But on Tuesday, in the middle of an interview with GH1 News with Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Deputy Trades Minister Carlos Ahenkora crashed in, accusing the North Tongue MP of being a pathological liar. The heated exchange nearly turned into fisticuffs. The two had to be restrained.
Your document.
Why? You don't know what facts are?
Facts are clear. Of course, clear evidence. Why is the fact? Fact is in your head.
Do you know the documents we have on
Show me the document you have. You don't have nothing. I'm telling you, you don't have nothing.
Who told you I don't have anything?
You don't have anything because what you are saying is only coming from your mind.
How can I be putting out such a thing?
Where is it? What have you given?
How can I be putting out
what have you given? Let him know that he's a thief. You have stolen through your life. And you have even lied through your education.
When the Tema West MP finally had his turn, he launched more attacks on the former Deputy Education Minister. He argued the information put out by the minority has been skewed to paint government black.
Sponsorship is nothing like putting a gun to somebody's head and say, whether you like it or not, come and sponsor. It is not gate fee. Nobody said that we are putting a table at the gate. If you don't pay 100,000, you are not entering. Well, we are not saying that everybody who is coming for the program must pay money before they come. No. Many of them, in fact, 90% of them came in without paying a pesewa. So they brought this package on the day to tell the selected sponsors what they were looking at.
Deputy Water Resources and Sanitation Minister Patrick Yabuama also chided the North Tongue MP for putting out what he termed as falsehood.
My good friend has to focus on his work as a member of parliament and stop playing to the gallery on issues that he doesn't have the facts to. Is Mr. Okudzeto now portraying to be the spokesperson for the expatriate community? I hope not. Please, he's the ranking member of Foreign Affairs. This has nothing to do with foreign policy. He should focus and pay attention to detail.
And away from Parliament drama and closer to the festivities that we are facing ahead, which is Christmas period, the Yuletide is definitely drawing nearer and nearer. And as it inches closer to its peak, the sight and sounds of firecrackers have become a daily ritual in many areas within the Accra metropolis. Regardless of the threat by the police to clamp down on sellers of the explosives, some traders at the Accra Central Market say they can't desist from selling them because that is their source of income.
It has become almost impossible for people to celebrate Christmas and New Year without firecrackers. To some people, Christmas cannot be celebrated without lighting the night skies with beautiful multicolored radiance of loud firecrackers.
If you sell it, what we call knockouts, firecrackers and other things, if you sell it, you'll be arrested.
Despite all warnings given to traders by the Ghana Police Service to desist from selling firecrackers, a visit to the Accra Central Market showed an open display of the explosives, which come in various shapes and sizes in the full glare of law enforcers. According to the traders, although the police has threatened to arrest them, they have not had any encounter with any yet, adding that selling of the crackers is their source of income.
Knockout, I say yes, my enton, but in Musafibia, yetumiton, I'm a yesu yedi because I feed ye and you'll be an etuno. So I say, and you'll be an afituno. Tinyakopo, I'm a fit to ya. Yes, I say, and G and Nikakra. Nemo, omo tutu, ama a prapran crofono. Yes, almost say, almost susutu.
So, Mun now to say, Omo Betty by ye tissue, ye di schedule. So when nipa ba no peso beto the opese su on.
All attempts to get the police comment on the issue proved futile.
Expectations are normally high during Christmas, especially, with children. And now they expect their parents to buy them new clothes, but a mother might fail her daughter this time around. William Evans Nkum has the answer in the following report.
Old Fadama, the largest slum in the city of Accra.
Get out of here!
Like a dice, life here presents several faces: the good, the bad, and the ugly. A densely populated area, narrow aisle. The inhabitants here live in cubicles, with some developed into block homes. A number of the people here are jobless, but a few are engaged in menial jobs. The euphoria surrounding the festive season normally relaxed the pressure here, the period the inhabitants forget about their harsh conditions. But this season seemed to have a twisted narrative.
We are preparing to take a Christmas, but now no, the system is not well for us. The system is not well because up to now no, nothing is moving at the market. When you get something to sell at the market, they will not buy.
Adrasewa is self-employed, a seamstress. She expected businesses to pick up around this time, but her expectation is gradually becoming a mirage.
This one's really mean so crowd. I am up going in a go be a magic or on the bands of Mama advance. Me Pamo Guarmosad is a bien panepe. I shan't so abedi or Bakwana charging say 200,000 or Baba Babia 150 and as a 10 CDs on their camber. I'm farmer Ukobusan on the Woko.
Her 5-year-old daughter is still expecting her Christmas dress, but she may have to hold on for a while.
Me mama dear granny, Yammy Bata didn't prove and come to miss over mammy problem. And I may pen me banner there's a woman, Chanya that the baby.
This is Adabraka. It can be described as a middle-class residential area here in Accra. Unlike Old Fadama, the town has a well layout. Residents are also gearing up for the Christmas.
Christmas in the deeper,
Bernice is a seamstress. Business has picked up with some few days to Christmas. She tells me the pressure on her to meet her customers' timelines. Back at Old Fadama, Address business has slowed, but in Adabraka, Bernice is cashing in as workload soar. The story of two women with same skill, but the working environment has created a world apart. To Adjoa, if the teeming youth of Old Fadama have jobs, it will impact on her business. William Evans Nkum, GH1 News.
Member of Parliament for Akwetia, Mercy Edu Gemfi, popularly known as Amasei, broke her silence on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday with a statement on the status of the Ghana Consolidated Diamond Limited. The company has been struggling in recent times with reports of workers embarking on a number of protests. The MP, who is widely believed to have a challenge with the English language, in the statement called on government to step in to save the collapsing company. The former hairdresser wants government to take over the company from its current private owner.
Mr. Speaker, it is now clear that the new company does not have the intention or capability of doing any mining. Since they have also failed to live up to its financial obligation in taking over the mine. I think it is time for them to hand over the mine back to government for a more serious investor to come in.
Residents of Achimota Mile 7 are living in fear following recent spate of robbery cases. Residents say they are uncertain of their safety as the worrying phenomenon goes unchecked. GH1 News' Samuel Lancelot Boateng was in the district and reports residents are in dire need of heightened police protection.
Criminal activities keep increasing. Just last Saturday, this church was robbed of items running into 10,000 Ghana cedis. Yet the Ghana police say they have what it takes. Question is, what went wrong this time round?
Aside the robbery incident that occurred at Rema Gospel Church International over the weekend, 2 vehicles were snatched together with a cash amount 10,000 Ghana cedis and other valuable items taken from a mobile money shop. All these happened a few weeks ago. It will be recalled that the police launched Operation Father Christmas the beginning this month, aimed at clamping down on criminal activities in the capital. But it appears the police is losing the fight as their efforts are being thwarted. I set out to assess the extent of the security lapses in this area. Upon arrival, we met these men who had come to fix this window after the church being attacked by robbers. Ironically, the church which suffered this attack shares the same wall with the West African Network for Peace Building, WANEP, whose CCTV camera could not capture the robbers. Though it's been 4 days since the incident occurred, the church has not reported the case to the police. Yao Sapon is the main coordinator of the church and had this to say.
About 5 months ago, sorry, that place one na yasa bu yabu ho eyi niema the same item na oman no nye say patrol team, police patrol team omo nam Holy Street nko na omo de yajuma o say omo ko babia.
Meanwhile, District Commander for Achimota Mile 7, Superintendent Idrisu Tanko Isifu, speaking to GH1, denied claims that crime is on the ascendancy in the district.
Crime can never be eradicated completely in any particular community or society. It definitely will be there. But as far as our statistics are concerned, crime in Mile 7 district is definitely not increasing.
The news team gathered that police at Achimota Mile 7 are faced with logistic challenges. For instance, this is the only vehicle the command has for its operations, let alone talk of staffing.
We will not relent in our efforts, and we won't say that if we do not have logistics, that should be a reason why we will not perform. We will do our best even with the little we have.
Some residents shared their experiences with the news team on the security situation in the area.
In terms of security-wise, we're not too rest assured about that. And secondly, it depends on the individual.
The police have, however, assured the safety of the residents in that enclave and has cautioned the people to walk in groups and avoid walking in dangerous places at night, before, during and after the Christmas. Samuel Lancelot Boateng, GH1 News.
Time now for a short break. Remember, our social media handle is at GH1TV on all our social media platforms. We'll be back with the rest of our stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching GHToday News. Time now to have a look at some of our business stories this morning. With just a few days ahead of Christmas, most families will find themselves doing some last-minute shopping. This is indicative that most individuals have not drawn a clear plan of how they intend to spend during Yuletide. Now, a situation which is likely to lead to overspending of one's budget.
With barely 5 days to Christmas, most traders have adorned their shops with all kinds of Christmas decorations. Scores of shoppers continually throng the central business district of Accra with the hope of finding the right items that would make the festive season a memorable one for them and their families. GH News asked some of these last-minute shoppers if they had put together a budget for Christmas buying.
Well, actually, I've budgeted for about 1,500. Because I have 10 kids. They are not all my kids, but...
Okay, roughly I'll use 1,000 for Christmas. Nothing really, nothing much. Just something small for the family. That's my mom and brother.
So how important is it for merrymakers to gauge their spending habit during the festive season? Financial literature author Richmond Frimpong has the answer.
Ultimately, whatever amount of money you have for this period, it is important to put some aside for investments, meaning that you can put some aside for the next 91 days, the next 182 days, and by the time the festive period is over, you now cash in on the returns you have to make some gains. This should have been done anyway before the period. So for people who didn't do anything like that, they are currently using the funds that are meant for other things to pay for the cost of their festive season expenses.
Checks with the various banks have shown that withdrawal within the last few days have increased in the apparent preparation for the festive period. Just don't forget the need to plan for the new year.
Still in business, some head porters in the Medina market in Accra want to go back home. Rather, the porters, popularly called Kaya, say low patronage of their trade, particularly this Christmas, has become a disincentive.
The festive period is a fertile time for the Kayayo business to boom. However, hopes of making enough money during this Christmas season have been dashed. The head porters say things have become harder than they thought. Here is Latifa Fusaini. The job of the head porter or Kayayo begins from early morning until dusk. They spend most of their day under the load of goods bought from the markets by shoppers. There is no dull moment except as Sakara narrates it's never enough. Hence, it will not bode well for them when shoppers fail to patronize them. That is reason Nafisa Homba says they are planning to return to their hometowns up north.
Me feel fear by name about Kupena Miss one day. Just saying there. Yeah, who cheer, Papa.
And now let's have a look at the latest news happening outside the borders of Ghana on our international news segment there, where in South Africa, I know has been in the news lately because in the end it was only 179 votes that separated the two candidates, Cyril Ramaphosa, a former mining magnate, and now the new president of the African National Congress, that's the ANC, as he hacked his rival Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. It was easy to forget, if only for a second, the violence, the poverty, the dissent, the tragedy of inequality outside. Ramaphosa will replace South African President Jacob Zuma as the ANC head and almost certainly run for the country's presidency when South Africa takes to the polls in 2019. Ramaphosa, one of South Africa's wealthiest people, ran on a campaign to fight corruption and increase economic growth. Ordinary citizens across the board are relieved that Zuma's preferred candidate didn't win. State State corruption is the devil incarnate, and common perception is that the pillage has to end. Well, will Ramaphosa be the change that the ANC and South Africa as a whole need? We wait and we see. Time now to have a look at our weather forecast for the day. And this brings us to the end of our news bulletin this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. You go ahead and have a splendid day ahead. Standing by are your favorite TV royals, your hosts Kafui and Queen B, to give you more on GH Today.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
It's Wednesday already.
Yes, midweek. Hump day. So middle of the week, then we're going down into Friday.
Yeah.
What's up?
I mean, anytime that you talk about the week and towards Friday, and then I miss somebody very special.
Okay, all right.
AJ Supple, wherever that you are, good morning, girl. Miss you. Listen, it's always fun and exciting to be here, and I'm excited this morning. To be here. So, guess what happened yesterday? My childhood friend and colleague, journalist and writer, Abdul Hai Moment. So he launched his very first book. Yes, so he calls it the gossip of the professional, or no, the professional gossip rather. Yeah. So yes, he